Australia's pipeline transport network is critical infrastructure essential to everyday life for the Australian community. The Energy Pipelines CRC, over its current 7-year lifespan, has stood with the Australian pipeline industry to deliver innovative and beneficial outcomes to help enable safer, more efficient and reliable pipelines for the Australian pipeline industry.
Industry partnerships are everything. And so we have this in many areas, and one important area is gas pipelines. So that's brought a whole network of industry to the university, and it's also very motivating because the more aligned we are with industry, the better we are able to set ourselves up with the capability, the infrastructure, the equipment and the people you need. It's going to produce an outcome the industry takes up.
Since joining the EPCRC, I've had a great number of opportunities to interact with industry. Through a lot of the conferences and also field work, I've been able to get a much better grasp of the inner workings of the pipeline community. Also, I've been to China, to a steel manufacturer there, and had the opportunity to tour the facility. But the EPCRC pushes us to get out and see what's going on in the industry so that we can make a much better contribution.
Even for a large company like APA, managing a research program ourselves, putting the necessary resources and time in to make it effective is quite a challenging proposition. The EPCRC has given us the whole thing as a nice tidy bundle, looks after the research, looks after the maintenance of the whole process, but it still takes the information from the key people in industry and provides a really good, solid foundation for the research.
The biggest interaction I've had with industry was going to the desert for 21 days. I worked on a pipeline doing the non-destructive testing, as well as helping out with the welding crew. Going into the desert, you could see where your research could really benefit. You could see exactly what the stakes were and how the research as well as the management styles differed from company to company.
The National Facility for Pipeline Coating Assessment was established in 2014 by Deakin University and the Energy Pipelines CRC. It is another key example of long-term support for the Australian pipeline industry.
Well, the facility is set up here at Deakin University, which also has a huge repertoire of equipment, and we also test to the national and international standards to ensure that pipelines and coatings meet the right standards.
The process before the facility existed was quite a difficult one because whilst there were some laboratories that did some tests, there was no laboratory that did all the required tests. You know, to have one place that has all the tests, is clearly independent, has NATA accreditation, is a big benefit for the industry.
When we construct pipelines, we're looking at design lives of 60 plus years. So when we're looking at choosing coatings for pipelines, we want to be sure that we're getting a coating that is going to last the design life of the pipeline.
The Energy Pipelines CRC also conducts a vast array of research into the public safety and security of supply. This research conducted at RMIT takes a sociological and organisational safety perspective. The EPCRC is also engaging with social science research available from high-hazard industries for further accident prevention.
For us at RMIT, and particularly in this school, we've stated that we would only do research that's relevant to industry and actually comes from industry. So the relationship with industry that the CRC brings means that we've got research problems that are really front and centre in industry's mind that we can apply our research work to, and we can also use the results of that research in our teaching, which is fantastic.
Well, the industry advisors have been very useful for us in terms of indicating I guess, where we should go with the research. So what are the challenges and the issues that the industry is facing? They've said, well, these are some areas that are of concern to the industry. These are some people perhaps you might like to talk to, and then we've been able to follow up on those suggestions.
But then it's also connected.
So sitting on the ME38-1 committee has been excellent for me. My colleagues say that it's valuable to industry to have someone on the committee who has a strong background in safety and risk management, but from outside the pipeline sector. We focus on bringing lessons on organisational safety from across a range of industries back to the pipeline sector, but where we can, we put some of this work back into the public domain so that all organisations can get some benefit from it.
All the different groups and universities involved in the EPCRC have their own special skill set. And a lot of times, as we're working on things, we might come to a particular problem that another research group understands better or might help us understand better. So being a part of the EPCRC and connected to all these different research groups allowed us to come together and put both of our skill sets together to come up with a solution.
The research has literally been world class. It's been presented at international joint technical meetings, and it really shows the EPCRC has been a real credit to the industry.
The Energy Pipelines CRC is committed to long-term support of the Australian pipeline industry. Its track record since 2010 of proven success and high-quality industry-driven research should be an attractive quality to all future partners.
The CRC has a whole management structure and now a track record that says, yes, it'll cost this amount, it'll be delivered in this time, and if you come here wanting to know more about your pipelines, you will be getting from us advice and testing and capability, which is going to help your business be amongst the world's best. And I think that kind of credibility doesn't happen overnight, and that's where you need a long-term, sustained effort of excellence from institutions like the CRC, and certainly the CRC Pipelines has delivered that in spades. So the confidence is there with the industry.